Okay, hopefully we are recording because I made this whole video only to find out that I wasn't recording at all. Trying not to hit people. Trying not to hit people. Okay, so not sure whether or not I'm going to call this daily downloads with Mike or mornings with Mike. Really doesn't matter. What are we going to talk about today? Today, the topic of discussion. Wow, I had this whole thing in my head planned out and now I've forgotten. But let's talk about the transient and fleeting nature of existence. So last night I was, based on yesterday's video, if you saw it, things didn't work out with this chick. And so I was a bit, I don't want to say distraught, that's a bit dramatic. Sad. Yeah, by that, and frustrated because I was hoping it would go somewhere. And as I was talking to my roommate about it, one of my roommates, we were walking down the street and we walked past this hospital and the curtains are open. And so you can see inside and there are people lying in like these hospital beds. And there was this guy watching a football game just lying in bed. And I said out loud, I said, it could be so much worse. This really is not that big of a deal. And one of the things that Psych Hacks, this YouTube channel, talks about in one of his videos is sometimes trying to solve the problem creates a bigger problem. And I'm going to dive into that in a future video, but I feel like it's ultimately true that sometimes us thinking about something or trying to fix something makes it worse. Sometimes things are what they are, and we have to just learn how to deal with them and relinquish control of the situation. In the past, I would have tried to sway or persuade this girl and be like, well, what about this? What about this? Like, we can make it work. We went on one date. It's not that big of a deal. It might feel like it in the microcosm of existence, but it's helpful to zoom out and focus more on the big picture. And what was so fascinating as well was I go into this Brazilian cafe with my roommate and I look over and there's this gorgeous woman. And all of a sudden, witnessing her beauty, I forgot about all the other problems, right? And so there's something to that too, right? It's like, it's so easy to get caught up in focusing on one thing, one person, one situation, that we confuse the forest with the trees. And that's how that saying goes. We miss the other pictures in the gallery. And so what's helpful for me is to remind myself of that. And I feel like right now in this video I'm trying to be profound. And so let's back up, because fuck that's stupid. I went to my place of work, used company resources to print a bunch of shit, and now on my way home, gonna meet up with some friends today, did some journaling, listened to some Mozart, which was fucking sick, and this is what I was gonna talk about. Being different from the rest of other people, and the title is gonna be like POV, you're different, or some shit like that, right? Okay, now we're getting more into my authentic self. Okay, and what I was going to say was, like, I have friends that like to always go out and party and go to clubs and go to bars, and I have never found that to be enjoyable, and I've really tried. There are moments when it is. If I'm going on a date or something like that, then I'm enjoying conversation, then it is. But a majority of the time, I find myself standing there, surrounded by this sea of drunk people going, this is unenjoyable. I'd rather be anywhere else. And that's not a judgment. That's just my personal experience. just through doing it so many times and every time it being like not enjoyable. So in lieu of that, I often go to sleep early, wake up early, feel refreshed, and I feel good. I got a great workout in yesterday. And so like it's okay to be different, and it's only at this point hovering on the edge of 30, age of 30, that I realize what I like and dislike. And that may change and it may develop and evolve, I'm sure it will. But ultimately, I like things that are different than a majority of people. And I think that could even be said if you look at the books on my shelf in my room and stuff like that. I find comfort and joy in being in my room, creating things, creating videos, expressing myself, working on things, tinkering with ideas. That's where I find joy. And if I can do that with another person, that's where I get a real thrill. And I think that's really what I caught on to with this situation with this last woman, was I was able to tinker with ideas. But I was reminded by the Brazilian girl in the cafe, assuming she's Brazilian, or just with my coworkers just now. My one coworker, we were just bouncing back and forth conversation. It was really witty, it was fun, and there is a joy to that I find really cool. And so yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this whole daily thing. One of the reasons why I wasn't doing the daily videos was like, I don't know if I have enough ideas to talk about. Maybe this is just a way for me to just spit things out of my brain and make it a little less congested up there. But I don't know. If it resonates, give me an emoji in the comments, or just share an emoji in the comments. Your favorite emoji. It doesn't have to be relevant at all. Put a UFO. Put a shoe. I don't care. Show me that you're alive and that you are a person on the other side of the screen. And if this is recorded, I hope it will, then I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo.